What's up, you guys, and welcome back to Nothing to See here. This is going to be quite an exciting episode. I have a lot to talk about. I have a lot to vent about. So yeah, there's a lot to talk about. So yeah, let's get into it because there's actually really a lot to talk about. So let's rewind a couple of days ago to May 10th. As you guys may or may not know, I released my debut album called Overdose. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend you give it a listen. It took a lot of work. I think it was like over 3 months work. But there was a point, where I was getting kind of disappointed because it didn't really blow up as much as I thought it would. And I got a little antsy on Twitter, and I was a little annoyed. It's officially over 100 views now, but it's like all that work for nothing. It kind of bummed me out for a bit. And then, then my friend D-Crack, he commented, just because someone doesn't value stuff, that you don't value, that it won't get attention. And I ain't gonna lie, I was a little jealous. I was a little annoyed by that comment, but, he's right, but at the same sense, it's like David, David, when David puts out a video, he can get a bunch of views, like a couple thousand a piece. When I put out a video, it's like, I don't know, it just doesn't really get as much attention as I really hope it will. Especially when I put a lot of effort into it. For some odd reason, videos like this, videos that really are nothing short of making, it doesn't really take a lot of effort, they usually get the most views. And the videos that I'm really, really, really proud of, the things that I take months and months working on, or a lot of time, they don't get hardly enough views. I don't know if that's just YouTube not pushing it out like it should, just because maybe YouTube somehow knows that that's the video that I'm passionate about or something. I don't know. But I don't know if YouTube is like that, but it's weird. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little jealous of my friend D-Crack. D-Crack, he joined YouTube in 2016, and I joined YouTube, and I had my YouTube account in 2011, but I didn't start posting until 2013. And so I've been in this game for a long, long time. And, I still haven't even passed, 1.5K. I hit 1K when I was in Buffalo. And the fact of the matter is that I've only gained slightly over 500 subscribers in the course of 2 years. That's a problem. And the fact that I'm still not monetized, that's another problem. And I'm going to announce this right now, just to see if we can reach 2K by next year. When I reach 2K, I'm going to be doing the Death Nut Challenge 3.0. I can't believe I'm saying that, but everybody wants me to do it. So if we hit 2K by next year, I will do that for you guys. But back to what I was saying about my channel is it possible that my channel may be dead? There was a peak, late 2018, early 2019, where I feel like I was at the top of my game. I was putting out videos almost every day. And the views were pretty decent, and the subscribers were climbing up drastically, and I was in such a good place. And then all of a sudden, it's just kind of dipped. But I'm not gonna quit YouTube right now, at least not at the moment. Even though times are really kind of tough right now, I'm gonna keep up the pace. I'm gonna try my hardest to keep moving, keep pushing forward, and just keep putting content out for you guys. But let's talk about more stuff. The new album. What is? I tweeted that I need to just make a better record, and you guys are probably wondering if I am making a new record. The easy and simple answer is yes, of course. Why wouldn't I make another record? Why would I just give up there? Right now, I'm just kind of jotting down a bunch of ideas. Right now, I haven't really wrote a full song yet. But I am writing down ideas right now as we speak, so hopefully there'll be a new album maybe the end of the year or beginning of next year. So there's going to be a new album in the works, and I'm quite excited about that. What am I currently working on as far as anything? Well, right now I'm kind of in a gray area right now. I have ideas for stuff, but I'm just waiting for the right time to do them. I'm getting back into reading, which is quite nice. I haven't read many books lately. I went out the other day to a bookstore, and I'm waiting on I said this in my vlog the other day. I was waiting on my pre-order for Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood novel. So in the time being, I purchased a book called The Heroine Diaries by Nikki Sixx, the bassist from the band Motley Crue, and I read a bunch of it at work, and I'm quite impressed with it so far. I might read some more tonight as I'm recording this podcast. But back to what I was saying about being really depressed and frustrated lately. I'm really trying, and I don't say this much, but I'm actually really trying to stay positive and uplifting, just so you guys have content. And it gets really hard. There are times where I just cannot even bring myself to record a video, but I really have to push myself as much as I can, and it's a problem. It's become a real problem. But now, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the moment that I tweeted about. If you follow me on my Twitter, you will know that I about choked a bitch out this morning at work. And let me explain. And it's quite a crazy story. Okay, so I work at a grocery store, as you guys know. And we have a manager, a day manager. I will not say her name, just in case anything was to happen. But she is a fickle bitch. She is the worst human being that I've ever met in my entire life. And I'm not even lying about it. I'm dead ass. She is a horrible human being. And this morning was about the day that I almost got fired. I about cussed her out. It was not a pretty day. So we came in last night to put up a truck. We had 2 trucks last night, which is you would normally think would be bad, but it really wasn't that bad. We had maybe 10, 11 pallets total, but most of them were bookings and most of them were meat, which means we didn't have to touch those. So about around 6:30, we were almost done. We were maybe 20, 30 minutes away from being finished. And then she walked in the door. And you know there's going to be trouble when she starts making around, she starts looking around. And keep in mind, she is a full-blown Karen. Hands down, no questions asked. She is a full-blown Karen. So I'm just kind of walking around, just doing my work. Then she starts fussing about this. See, when she starts fussing about something not being right, then you know you're going to be there a couple more hours. But that's not even what pissed me off. We were about to leave even at one point. She's like, "You guys are not leaving until this is done." One of our other coworkers didn't finish dairy, and then I got bitched at for not keeping an eye on him or something. I'm like, this guy in particular was in charge of dairy and he didn't finish dairy. So I was getting on to the night manager, be like, why didn't he finish dairy? And then all of a sudden she gets on to me saying, "Who's the boss?" And I'm thinking, I didn't even do dairy. You're fussing at dairy not being finished, so why are you fussing at me? You should be fussing at the other guy. It's like there's such a double standard. I say this all the time. There's such a double standard between day shift and night shift, as well as management always rolls downhill. And that is a very true thing with any job you go to. Any job. But I'm getting off track here. Here's the part that really pissed me off. Okay, so about a week ago, I finally opened my first checking account, meaning I'm finally eligible for direct deposit for when I make my pay every 2 weeks at my job, which is great. So I have my banking app. I have everything that I need. So when I have direct deposit, I will know exactly how much I have in the bank by just looking at my app. I'm like, this is so convenient. But then there was a problem. Everybody got their direct deposit at midnight, and I did not. So I was like, okay, that's a little weird. And so I was under the mindset that in the morning that I was going to get another paper check just for this week, because it takes a full pay period for you to get your first real direct deposit. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So and I already gave her the paperwork like 2 weeks prior to that. So anyway, I didn't get my direct deposit, so I was like, okay, that's a little weird, so I might just get a paper check in the morning. So when she showed up, I went to and asked her, I said, "Hey, I'm not getting a direct deposit today." She goes, "No." So I said, "Okay, am I getting a paper check?" She's like, "You'll most likely get your direct deposit next paycheck." because I didn't fill out all the paperwork. Now this is where tension started to rise, because when I filled out the paperwork to give her, she was right there in front of me as I was filling out the paperwork. If I was to miss anything on that paperwork, she could have told me. So she waited a whole week before telling me that I did not fill this out. So I might not even get direct deposit next paycheck. But that's besides the point. After all of that BS, right when I was about to leave to go home, she called me to the office so I can get my paycheck, and it was on a card. I was afraid that this was going to happen, because way back when I first started this job, they gave us these little gift cards for Christmas as like a little bonus. I think it had like $15 on it. And for some reason you have to register it or something. Now, see, what she didn't tell me is that I'm supposed to put in a registration code. I didn't find that out until 5 months later. That gift card is still inactive because I didn't know I was supposed to put in a registration code. But that's besides the point. So she gave me this BS Visa card that has my paycheck on it, mind you. And I'm like, this thing better work. So I had to call the number on it. I had to get the card set up and registered and everything, blah, 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 blah. So when the card was ready to go, I went to put it in my ATM and it wouldn't work. I was like, okay, so here we go. Here's the start of the problem. So I went inside and fussed at her. I was like, this card won't work on my ATM. What do I do? She looked at me like I was fucking 2. I can't. She treats everybody in there like a child except for day shift, because day shift doesn't give a shit about night shift. All they do, day shift does not do jack shit at this specific job. All they do is sit around all day and fuss about night shift. That's basically what day shift does. And she's very buddy with day shift because that they work day shifts. So all they do is gossip. So I fussed at her. I was like, this card is not working on my ATM, so what do I do? She says, well, you might just need to wait a few minutes, or you might need to wait 24 hours, but the money's in there. I'm like, can't you just write me a paper check? She says, no, I can't write you a paper check. It's in the card. So I'm already good and pissed off at this point. So now the envelopes and letters that were in there saying I need to go to a specific ATM to get the money out. So I go to Walgreens, where apparently they have an ATM like that. Wouldn't work. I even used the ATM in the store. It didn't work. So we're on a wild goose chase for literally over 2 hours. And I've already been up for like 11, 12 plus hours. So I was already good and tired and very irritable and very, very annoyed. I finally went to a Wells Fargo, which is a place you're supposed to go that would have an ATM like that. I tried the ATM. It didn't work again. But I was like, okay, I'm just going to go in and talk to somebody who knows what they're doing. So I went in and talked to this lady. I cannot remember her name for the life of me, but she really saved my ass. She let me take a cash advance out of the card, so I was able to get my money out without any problems. But the fact of the matter is that my day manager could have told me where to go and how to get the money out. But she didn't do that, did she? No. So I put the money in the bank, and then the money showed up just like that. But like I was saying at the beginning of the podcast, I about choked a bitch out today. I'm not lying. I came so close to freaking snapping like Michael Douglas in the movie Falling Down. I've never been so pissed off, so upset, so angry, so frustrated in my entire life. You have no idea. I came home and took a shot of that blue alcohol that I bought the other day for in my vlog. I was literally livid. I was so pissed off that I about quit my job today. I'm not even lying. I'd never been so upset and so disappointed in the unprofessionalism of a day manager in my entire life. And but yeah, that's what happened today, and I wanted to vent about it on the podcast because it really, really, really pissed me off to the point where I was about to go off like a stick of dynamite. And that just shows you what kind of person she is. She is a full-blown Karen. She is a fickle bitch. And yeah, I know you're not supposed to hate people, but I really hate her rotten guts. I hate the sound of her voice. I hate the sight of her face. The freaking floor, I bet, is disgusted of the ground that holds her freaking weight up. Can't stand her. Can't stand her not one bit. And, I used to complain about our night manager a lot, but lately she's been amazing. Lately, she has been absolutely amazing. She's been the best person right now, lately. Maybe in a couple weeks or so she might change. Who knows? But lately, I've been really supportive of her. She's been really nice, really sweet. But to the day manager, fuck you. Eat a dick. Suck my chode. You're a hee-haw head. Anyway, sorry. Had to vent. I feel way better now. I had to get this out. But there's the podcast, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. A lot more stuff coming soon on my YouTube channel. Like I said, just bear with me. I'm going to try and put out more and more content as many times as I can. Like I said, this job is killing me, both physically and mentally. But at the same time, I'm still trying to get stuff out for you guys. If you like this podcast, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't followed me on my Twitter, it's at ATVTaylor. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, it's Austin_TV. And if you don't follow me on TikTok, it's at ATV Studios. And like I said, I will see you guys next time on the podcast. Thank you guys so much. Peace.